If you're using a Phillips screwdriver for your Japanese motorcycle, ATV, car, or truck, hate to tell you, but you're going to be stripping a lot of screw heads. The driver that fits best in those screws is called a JIS screwdriver. JIS stands for Japanese Industrial Standard. That is the type of screw head that the Japanese use on their motorcycles, ATVs, vehicles, cameras, you name it. So the head is shaped a little differently than Phillips and enables it to fit perfectly into a JIS type screw. Now, to identify a JIS screw, it has a little punch mark, or sometimes it'll have a X on the head of it here, like this one. Now, the nice thing about this screwdriver set is it goes up to a size 3, which a lot of other screwdriver sets do not. The size 3 is pretty common on motorcycles. So like crankcase screws, Kickstarter screws, just some of the bigger screws you find on motorcycles and ATVs and cars and trucks. Also, what's nice about these in particular is it is called a tank through design. It's got a steel shaft that runs all the way through to the end. As you can see on the end, it is steel, so you can tap on the end of it. That helps loosen up screws when they're stubborn. Also, the tips are magnetic, so that you can pick up screws, hold screws into place so they don't fall out. Also, the grips are just phenomenal on these. They don't slip in your hand. Just nice texture and nice feel to them as well. So let's give these a try on the bike and see how they work. So here we've got a screw on the crankcase of the CR125. I don't think it's been out since 2005 when this bike was made. So it'll be perfect to compare a Phillips versus a JIS type screwdriver. Both are number 3. Let's try the Phillips first. See how it fits in the head. Wow, that's pretty loose. You can see how sloppy that is in the head of the screw. I think if I were to apply some force to it, it would probably round out that screw. Let's compare it versus the JIS. You can see how much tighter that is in there. A lot more confidence inspiring. I think if I were to apply force to it, it would have no problem loosening that screw. But I'm going to show you what's nice about the tank through design. So you can tap on the end of the screwdriver here, and that helps kind of shock the screw loose. So apply some, kind of turn it left, apply some force to it, and give the end of the screwdriver a little tap, and we'll see what happens. Not a problem. Here's another number 3 screw on the Kickstarter. You can see it is marked with a little X. So that is indeed a JIS. I'll be able to show you in detail on how these screwdrivers fit in the head. First up is the Phillips. Pretty loose. And here is the JIS. You can see it fits deeply in there, gets a full good grip on it. And let's go ahead and loosen it. And let's see what the Phillips would do. Starting to round that out inside, so I'm not going to even push it any further. You can see the marks it makes inside of there. It's starting to tear up that screw. So yeah, definitely essential to have a set of these if you own a Japanese motorcycle or ATV or anything produced in Japan. Now, to identify which size screwdriver you need for a particular screw, obviously you want to test it before you try to remove it. I'll show you what a number 1 looks like in here. It just spins. Obviously that isn't the right size. A number 2 fits fairly tight, but it still has a little bit of play in the head. And a number 3 fits much tighter, nice and snug. So basically start with a smaller size and work your way up to just whatever one fits best. So number 3 heads are going to be on screws like crankcase screws like we have here, and just some of the bigger screws on the bike. Number 2 is going to be your most common size on a motorcycle. So things like your master cylinder screws, brake line guides, fork guards, radiator hose clamps, and carburetor clamps. those type of things. And then number 1 is going to be for the smaller screws, like on the float bowl, on your carburetor, things like your kill switch, and just pretty much all the other little tiny screws on the bike. So I hope that gives you a good illustration on the differences between a Phillips and a JIS type screwdriver.